Call the member for Hinchinbrook.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Deputy Premier, Treasurer and Minister for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Partnerships. My question is, the government's first homebuyers grant scheme that applies to new homes inadvertently discriminates against homebuyers in non-metro areas, where economies are flattening. New housing developments are few and far between in these regional areas. Will the Minister commit to investigating amendments that will allow the grant of $20,000 to be accessible to new home buyers of established homes in smaller regional centres?
I call the Deputy Premier.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for Hinchinbrook for the first non-government question related to the budget, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, it does say quite a bit about the quality of the Liberal National Party in Queensland when the Qatar Australia Party actually beat them to the finish line in terms of actually tackling the issues that matter to Queenslanders, particularly Queenslanders living in regional Queensland, Mr Speaker. I do thank the member for Hinchinbrook and the Qatar Australia Party for actually asking the first sensible non-government question in the chamber here today, Mr Speaker.
Deputy Premier, I draw you back to the question that was asked.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. And Mr Speaker, can I say that the Queensland First Homeowners Grant is an important program that seeks to make housing affordable to first home buyers. It is something that I understand is replicated in many other jurisdictions right across Australia. I will take it. I will give you an undertaking, give the member for Hinchinbrook an undertaking, Mr Speaker, to have a look at some of the metrics around the distribution of the Queensland First Home Owners Grant, to have a look at how they are geographically allocated right across the state. He does make a very good point, Mr Speaker, in terms of the First Homeowners Grant, because, of course, it was also used as an economic measurement or a lever to ensure that construction activity continued in key areas right across our state, so that we had workers engaged in construction as well as first home buyers engaged in purchasing their first home. So I do think the member for Hinchinbrook has raised a relatively important issue, and I commit to have a look at the geographical dispersion of the First Homeowners Grant and have a conversation with you going forward. But I do thank you for the question, member for Hinchinbrook. It is actually the first sensible non-government question we have received in the chamber today.